Casey Phillips here with senior writer and editor Scott Smith, and it is officially playoffs time, regular season behind us, which also, of course, means we know who the Buccaneers will be facing in the first round of the playoffs. We know the Bucs finished as the number 2 seed, which is amazing, and they are going to be taking on Philadelphia. So first of all, just tell us how we ended up in this situation as the 2 seed and taking on Philly.
Well, it means the day went exactly the way the Bucs wanted it to. They took care of their own business and beat the Panthers. And at the same time, the San Francisco 49ers did us a favor and beat the Rams. And because of that, the Buccaneers have moved ahead of the Rams in the seeding to get that second seed based simply on a better record. Previously, they were the 3rd seed, the Bucs were, because even though they had the same record as the Rams, they lost to Los Angeles in week 3. So the Bucs got the 2, end up against the 7, and it's a familiar opponent.
Exactly, which next question is always going to be, what do you think the Buccaneers will be facing? So we do know it's an opponent they've already faced. What's similar? What's different? What are the big things you think they're going to have to be focusing on?
Well, yes, this is the second place team in the NFC East. Weirdly, they were much better on the road this year. The Buccaneers beat them in Philly. They were 6-3 in road games this year, and they really had a nice winning streak down the stretch. But it's a little hard to quantify it because they only had one win versus a team that now has a winning record. So, it's a little bit of wondering how real that winning streak was. But hey, they're here. The Bucs beat them 28-22. They made a really nice comeback in that game, and it got a little hairy at the end. This is the team that is number 1 in the NFL in run percentage. That is, they are the only team that runs the ball on more than 50% of their plays. And the reason, of course, they do have a lot of running backs that they mix and match, but they have Jalen Hurts, their quarterback, who going into last weekend had already rushed for 784 yards and 10 touchdowns. They are picking up 160.4 rushing yards per game, 4.96 per carry. Both of those are excellent numbers. And in the receiving core, the rookie Devontae Smith is leading the way, but they also use Dallas Goedert, the tight end, a lot. And their offensive line is led by a Pro Bowler at the center in Jason Kelce. On defense, they didn't get any Pro Bowlers, but they do have guys like Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, who has 3 picks, Javon Hargrave, who is a force in the middle. I think he has 7.5 sacks. All these numbers were coming into the final weekend. And you put it all together and you got a team that's tied for 8th in scoring, tied for 8th in scoring defense and is 9th in yardage defense. And they're very hard to run on. So there's a lot of strengths on both sides of the ball to this Eagles team. And like I said, they've been coming on hot lately.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us on this playoff preview. Enjoy all of our coverage leading up to the game right here on Buccaneers.com.